out was a glitch in Mario Party 2, but I guess the developers either intended it or never came across it. Either way, you're likely to score a few coins by taking advantage of it. Cellular Shopper. When used, the player will be able to choose to call either Toad or Baby Bowser. When the player has called, the player may shop items in the usual manner. I'll tell ya, this thing used to feel like a throwaway item to me, but now that I know about the item tables, you bet I don't mind having this in my inventory. Accessing whichever shop you want from anywhere on the board is fantastic. You can adapt your game to the current situation without having to spend multiple turns to travel to an item shop that may or may not even contain the seller you want. If you've got a handle on how these item shops work, then 5 points for this item ain't a bad deal. Dueling Glove. When used, a Goomba will be brought forth. The player will then choose an opponent to duel in a duel minigame. After this, the player will have the option to choose how much is to be dueled for. In this title, you can only duel for coins. The highest amount of coins the player can choose can't go over the least wealthy player's total amount. I've always seen the Dueling Glove as just a worse Boo Bell, at least when it comes to purchasing it. The thought of spending coins to bet coins against another player doesn't sound like a good move to me on paper, unless you're really confident that you've got the duel minigames in this title down, in which case I won't stop you. Golden Mushroom. When used, the player using it will roll 3 dice blocks instead of 1. The numbers of all 3 rolls are added together, and the player will move that many spaces. If the player rolls a 7 in all 3 dice blocks, then they'll get 50 coins. If they roll any other number in all 3 dice blocks, then they'll get 20 coins. 3 dice blocks for the price of only 10 coins? Sign me up! These bad boys can have you zooming around the board in no time, unless you roll low in all 3 rolls. That's never happened to me before. Boo Repellent. This item will activate itself when a player who is carrying it around is targeted by Boo. The effect it has is that it will fend off Boo. If it is used by the player before they move, the item will be discarded. Finally, we have a proper counterplay to Boo. For multiple titles, whenever you were getting stolen from, you just had to take it. But now if you have a Boo Repellent in stock, then you can feel more at ease. I can't recommend this item enough, especially if you sense that you're a target to be stolen from pretty soon. Even if you don't sense any danger, it's a good idea to get a hold of a Boo Repellent early on so players don't even think about stealing from you. There may come a time where your opponents team up against you, where one of them will purposely try to steal from you so your Boo Repellent is wasted, making you vulnerable to the next person that steals from you. I don't see this happen too often, but if you notice that the situation starts to lean in that direction, it may do you good to turn your opponents against one another. After all, someone's gotta sacrifice their own Boo steal to get rid of your Boo Repellent. So why should it be them instead of someone else? You could even go as far as telling them that you're not as far ahead as they think you are, and that they're not going to gain anything from it, just the person that steals from you afterwards. Most of the time, no teaming will occur.